The bus ride was long, bumpier than expected, but you hardly noticed. You were lost in thought, replaying every detail of the cryptic message your uncle had sent. Did he know something you didn't? Was this journey all just a wild goose chase? Doubts clouded your mind as the vehicle finally ground to a halt outside an unassuming row house. Taking a deep breath, you stepped out into what felt like déjà vu. The world around you was strangely clear, the colors vibrant, the sounds crisp. You reached for your phone, its screen flashing the same clock time as before. But when you tried to call your own number, the connection failed. You looked back at the house. No, 13 was supposed to be your destination. So why was it unfamiliar? And more importantly, why did your reflection in the window seem like a stranger? Pushing open the door, you entered a dimly lit room. Memories flickered at the edge of your awareness, half-remembered dreams. A woman turned from the stove, her eyes widening. Sorry, you stammered, taking in the scene. There were family photos on the fridge, smiling faces, none of which you recognized. Confusion surged through you. The woman shook her head, her gaze troubled. "You're not Emily's cousin, are you?" she asked hesitantly. "Emily," you echoed, the name feeling foreign on your tongue. It was then you noticed a framed picture on the wall, a girl with your face, a stranger's smile. The woman saw the realization dawn on you. "She moved out years ago," she said softly, reaching out to touch your arm. "But you look exactly like her. Are you sure you're not her cousin?" You wanted to scream, to make them understand. But as you opened your mouth, no sound came out. All you could manage was a strangled gasp. They thought you were Emily's cousin, but you were no one to them. You were nothing to them. You didn't exist here. Desperation clawed at you as you raced through the empty streets. Houses you'd known intimately were replaced by towering structures. The park where you'd spent countless hours was now a bustling plaza. Faces you'd seen countless times stared back blankly. None of them knew you, and the horrifying truth settled upon you like a shroud. You weren't just lost in time and space. You were lost in a reality where you never existed, hadn't been born. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. You searched everywhere, hoping to find someone, anyone who might know you, who might remember you, but it was futile. In every interaction, the same confusion, the same polite smiles and averted gazes. You were a ghost haunting the landscape of your own life, seeing everything yet being seen by no one. Yet amidst the despair, questions blossomed in the fertile ground of your isolation. If no one here remembers you, do you still matter? How do you measure your value when your entire timeline was never cast in this world? You grapple with these thoughts, the silence around you amplifying the tumult within. One day, while exploring the city's vast digital archives, you stumbled upon a faded photograph. It was you, standing next to a group of people, laughing. Their names and faces swam before your eyes. Your best friend, your colleagues, your family. Then it hit you. Not only were they alive in this world, they were living their lives without you. Your best friend must have found someone new to confide in after you'd moved away. Who took your job? Who loved the people you loved? The revelation left you breathless. You were no longer just an observer. You were an agent of change, whether you chose to acknowledge it or not. You started visiting the places you used to frequent, hoping to catch a glimpse of your past. At the local cafe, the barista remembered your favorite order, a mocha with extra whip, just the way you liked it. Across town at your old workplace, your boss greeted customers with the same warmth you once displayed. Each interaction was a punch to the gut, a reminder of the life you once lived and the people you'd impacted. But there were other discoveries, too. Your favorite bookstore was on the brink of closure. The art gallery where you met your former partner was now a rundown shell of its former self. Your absence had consequences, both good and bad. As you delved deeper into this alternate reality, a chilling question echoed in your mind. Why were you never here? The answer, when it came, was unexpected and heart-wrenching. Your parents had decided to adopt you just before your birth, but something went wrong. Perhaps it was a mix-up at the hospital, a clerical error, or maybe fate itself intervened. But instead of being raised by a couple who loved you into existence, you were left behind. Unwanted and alone, overwhelmed with emotion, you questioned why you'd been chosen, why you'd been brought to this world only to be discarded. And then you thought of the woman who'd welcomed you into her home, Who'd shared your face and your name with a stranger? Maybe, just maybe, you weren't meant to stay here. Maybe your purpose was to find Emily, to tell her about the life they could have had, the memories they'd shared. But how could you reach her when she didn't know you existed? When you had no one to turn to? Weeks passed and the city became your sanctuary, its busy streets and towering buildings hiding your pain. You worked odd jobs, helping others while burying your own feelings. One day, you spotted a help wanted sign at a local library. The job appealed to you. Amidst the quiet rows of books, you felt a sense of solace, surrounded by stories of lives lived and lessons learned. The librarian, a kind-faced woman named Margaret, became your anchor in the storm. Seeing your gentle nature with the patrons, she trusted you with more responsibilities. Slowly but surely, you began to heal, finding comfort in the silent companionship of the books. It was during a late-night shift that you discovered a hidden collection of Emily's journals. As you read her words, you realized that the life she'd lived was beautiful, fulfilling. She'd loved and been loved, but there was an underlying sadness in her entries, a loneliness that echoed your own. With each passing day, your resolve grew. You wanted to tell Emily about her alternate life, not to disrupt her present, but to offer her a glimpse of the path not taken. You carefully wrote down your memories, piecing together the fragments of your existence. Finally, after months of preparation, you approached Emily, her face pale as she read your words. You watched, hoping for understanding, bracing for rejection. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "Thank you. This is the most important thing I've ever read." You were shocked. Instead of disbelief, she embraced you, her touch warm and real. "I felt it, too," she murmured, "the emptiness, the longing for something more." Together, you sat in the park where your paths had diverged, sharing stories and laughter. You told her about the life you could have had, the one where you grown up as sisters. You described the family who loved you both, the friends you made, the dreams you chased. When it was time for you to leave, Emily held your hand tightly. "Don't forget me," she whispered. "Never," you promised, knowing that in this world, your bond transcended time and space. As you walked away, you glanced back. Emily was smiling, tears sparkling in her eyes. You knew you'd made the right decision. By staying, you hadn't erased her life. You'd enriched it. But your journey wasn't over. Now that you connected with Emily, you faced a crucial choice. Should you return to your world or remain in this one? With Emily by your side, you explored the possibilities. And as you helped others navigate their lives, you realized that your presence, though unseen, had made a difference. The world was slightly better because you'd been here. The emotional pulse in a world that never knew your name. You discover the true depth of your impact and your silence. Whether you choose to walk away or etch yourself into this version of Earth, one truth remains: every soul leaves a trace, even when it disappears. If this alternate tale has you rethinking your place in the universe, hit like and subscribe to Other Side, where stories stretch reality and stir the soul. Until next time, keep chasing the shadows of possibility, only on Other Side.